So I had a lot of people talking about the mic, so I've decided to have it like this. I did buy the boom stand. No, I'm gonna buy it today, but it didn't come, so today I'll have it like this, alright? And yeah, so today I want to talk about people who describe themselves in a noun, right? So how did I come up with this topic? The whole way I came up with this topic is when I was watching, some of you guys might know, but there was this culinary show in the Korean Netflix show, right? I was watching that in the Texas where I was staying, and on the show there was a guy who was describing himself as crazy and crazy. So yeah, it's all right. But in South Korea, when I meet new people, sometimes uh, they say that they're crazy, and in South Korea there's a word for a crazy person, and they say torai. So they were like, "Yeah, I'm torai, I'm torai," and I was like, "Well." It just felt kind of weird always. It's so what does that mean? And I thought about that, and I think I know why. And my thought is that um, so what's a word? What's a word? What's a noun? A noun is something that is general, right? When you say tree, you're not talking about a specific tree. You're talking about the characteristics that most tree have, right? What so when you I think when you claim yourself as a form of noun, you sort of destroy the individuality. Do you know what I mean? So when you call yourself, I'm, well, if you call yourself, what's a good example? Hmm, can I say Nazi? I think that's too bad. If you have or buy an identity in a form of noun, then you sort of lose yourself. Does that make sense to you guys? So if I say, well, I could say I'm Korean. That's fine. But if I base my identity off of being Korean, well, who am I? Right? So, well, one of the characteristics that I have might be Korean, but I don't describe myself. Hmm, this is not what I want to say. That what I really want to say is I'm trying to say that the your personality or character sort of loses the individuality once it can be described in a form of noun, right? Yeah, I think that's good. Like if you claim yourself, not claim yourself, if you label something Republican, okay, you might say that Republican. So I'm Republican, okay. Well, that might be one of the characters. So I'm saying there's that's not what I want to say. So you know what? I'll think more about that. I think I'll need to articulate because I have writing on this in Korean and it's completely fine and I have no problem talking about this in Korean, but like in English, why is it so hard? Yeah. Um, I think I'll need to think about this again. Okay. Uh, next on that. So, what happened today? Today, um, today I played soccer for from 10 to 12, but it was a really unique experience. So, when I went there, I went there as a I went to the soccer team, natural science soccer team, and when I was there, it just when I talked to the guys over there, I felt this sort of oppressed energy. It's not depressed, but it's the same thing that I felt when I first came to South Korea. It was this sort of so when I go to America or meet like other guys, like guys from not from South Korea, so when I'm in South Korea, like people say that, wow, you're really free. And I'm like, well, Well, I'm free, yeah, just as much as you are. I'm free, yeah. And but they say no. It just sort of feels different. It feels like you're free in a different sense. I was like, what does that mean, right? And I think I have a glimpse of what they mean. I think so if you live in South Korea and if you're born here and you raised up, grew up throughout your whole life, there's like these structural, there's like this whole pathway of formalized life. Okay, so you're born, you grow up, you study, you go to a good university, like the best you could if you can, and after that you go to 군대 military service, and after that, um, get out, then you try to get a job, you get a job, you get married, you get kids, and you grow up, you get old, and you die. That's like the factual ordinary life, like the organized life. And and in each stages there's certain things that you have to do. And when I talk with them, they talk as if it's something like as if it's a truth. Like, how should I put that? Um, it's there's no questioning getting done on that life. Does that make sense? So it's like so 당연하다. 당연하다 means obvious. So it's so obvious that you don't really question it at all. And yeah, so that's what's going on. And when I told my friends that I'm gonna get snowboarding lessons this whole season, they're like really surprised, and they thought like I had a really free energy being shown off, right? What is it? I can't really describe it, but there was this sort of energy from them that I felt that was really unfree. But I'm not saying they're like, I'm not saying South Korea's North Korea. So we're free obviously, but it was this sort of dull, um, not depressive, like sort of, let's say energetic, right? So if I talk with the guys in Texas, or guys, I'm not looking down in Korean, right? I'm not doing that. I'm just saying the things that I felt, right? And I think that's amazing. That's how they live. But when I go Texas or other people, not Texas. Like when I meet other guys, they're like, okay, so I grew up this way, and I decided to pursue this when I was 20 something, and after that I found out that this is this way, so I did this, and then around 28 I decided that I should do this from the learnings that I've done before, so I started to do this, and now currently I'm 30 something doing this at this place, right? So they have their very own unique pathway of what they have done throughout their life. But and I think that's all based off freedom. But like we're free, but not like how should I put it? So it's not in South Korea. Yeah, people are free, but there's very few who choose to live the life that they desire to live. And around the time you graduate, there's like around, I think, very few options that you can choose. So most people choose out of these four, which is get a job right away, go to post grad, take exams for government work, and go to law school. So there's around these four, or yeah, and I mean, I'm not saying that's bad, but it felt really not restricted. Like there was a lack of options, and there was this whole energy of sort of Is it oppression? Is that oppression? They were like really de there wasn't this energy of looking forward to the future. Yeah, that's what it is. So for me, when I live every day, so let's say I went play soccer, I did this, and there's a lot of things that I want to do, right? I'm thinking, so there's a girl commenting on my YouTube channel that said, okay, so basically what you were saying is you're not going to do anything and get employees all the way. And I was like, yeah, well, maybe that doesn't make sense. Maybe I should actually, not actually, like, why should, I decided to do that because I'm not really good at designing. Well, at least that's the belief that I have currently. So wouldn't it be better to have someone to do it? So, but maybe I should, right? So I'm looking for on that. We have a Patreon. We're talking on Discord. I have this whole YouTube channel, and every day I'm trying to do my best to do something. So like I'm really looking forward on my life, and I have all these plans. So I want to go to the special forces when I graduate, and after graduation, I want to take the USMLE, go to the States, blah 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 blah. And if I get the States doctor's license, I could go all over Europe. I got this whole future plan of what I would do, but there was this whole, I think that energy could not be seen. And is that bad? Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it was sort of more like choosing from the options that you really have. And no, it was sort of like choosing out of this four, but those four were like given. So like if I could give an example, like you could choose what to eat for lunch, but it's maybe fish and chips. Next option is, you know, like something or something. There's like three options. But let's say you just want to have another option called number who knows, like 66. But that option is not given to you, and you got to choose it from the three that you have. How would you feel in that situation, right? Yeah, that's the sort of energy that I felt. It was sort of weird. It was a weird experience. Yeah. And if you're watching this and you play soccer with me, I am not I'm not looking down, should I say? I'm not doing that in any terms. I'm just describing what I felt. That's it. Right? That happened. And from 2 to 3, I had a client who wanted her results until 3, but I had coaching from 3 to 5. So I took a taxi, went there, had a great nap for 30 minutes in the taxi, gave a 5 review, because he deserves that, don't he? Got that. Finished work, and I was so damn hungry. I went to a chicken shop and had one whole chicken by myself. Well, did that. And now I'm here. I did more work, and it's 8:48, and now I'm here. Oh, and one thing I really wanted to share is that I am, just a sec, so. I am really enjoying this book so much. So, yep. And currently I'm on I'm on page 15. So 15. And I'm learning a lot of new vocabulary. So today I learned furtively. Furtive. Furtive means to do it. 몰래 means like, is it incognito? Like while others wouldn't notice? Sinister, I learned that. Yeah, and I'm learning a lot of vocabulary along this side, and it's super fun because it describes the whole place, Auschwitz, the place in a first person's perspective, which is super interesting. And yeah, but I do have a question. So if any of you guys could tell me what trust means. So it says there was a extra bit of excitement in store for the owners of trusses. And I've typed it in Google, and the only trust that popped up was the Truss Bridge. So the spelling is Trusses. And yeah. So the situation is they're getting undressed. And he is witnessing an extra bit of excitement in store for the owners of trusses. Now, what does that mean? I got absolutely no idea. Yeah. Guys, I think this format is really good. So I could just I could talk about my thoughts during my day, and then I could recap on what happened during the whole day, and share my thoughts along the way, right? So isn't that amazing? I think this is a really good form that we could settle on. Yep. So 2 questions I really wanted to answer is number 1, when's the live? The live is gonna be on 10 p.m. Korean Standard Time, Sunday. All right, so it's gonna end around 11:30 or 11, around that time. Yeah. And number 2 question is, when is Mom Necklace come out? So I've recorded it all. Okay, I do have the videos, but I have not yet edited. Okay, so I want to do a good intro, so I'm editing me, and there's a really amazing guy who said that he wanted to edit the video. And if you want to edit, you could just text me via Discord, Instagram, or Patreon, whatever you want. You could just text me, and we could edit it together. So yeah, amazing guy says he wants to help me edit the whole video, so we're doing it together. So it's taking a bit of time. And number 3 question is, what's number 3? I don't think we have number 3. So those are the 2 main questions that we got. Yeah. And yeah. So what did I want to share? Okay. So on yeah, so I've used Patreon for today, and I think it's super amazing because it was so easy for me to just like upload. So today I had like 2 things. We have 20 people here, and yeah, super nice. And I'll be uploading whatever I'm going on there more often, because Instagram stories, there's too much of people who do not know that I'm doing this whole thing. YouTube, well, it's alright, but oh, you can actually see my leg there, right? Yeah, this is a really comfortable way of sitting. Why not? And YouTube announcements, not really. I think Patreon is really good. If there's any other, I mean, I tried using Discord, but there's too much of what's going on. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And yep. Yeah, I hope today's video had a very audio quality. I am gonna buy the video mic, the mic that goes up and down, but that's not yet to come. And yeah. So another thing that I wanted to share is I found out that there's not much that I could really share if I have not met a new person in the day. Right? So if you listen to most of my stories or the things that I say, it's usually derived from the events that I had with other people. And when I work really hard, well, it's good because I worked really hard, but most of the cases I stayed alone in a cafe or someplace. And in that case, there's not much that I really could share because, it was just me working. There's not much of an event or the things that I've heard. Like, look at my previous video. I shared a story of my friend's friend dying because of a great grenade accident. I wouldn't have heard of that story if I had not talked to him, right? So I think talking to at least one person every day is really important. Um, and a mentor actually recommended me a book called Never Eat Alone. So, and I think that's really a valid point. You're gonna have food anyways, and the time you're gonna spend having food is probably gonna be the same, whether you have it alone or with someone. And why have it alone, right? So I'm gonna meet at least one person every day, uh, and yeah, that's gonna happen. So, and not hope. You know what? One thing I learned from yesterday's working. So yesterday I made the Patreon, I finished the Shopify, I took the pictures, and I designed the website, and that happened. And the results were shown, right? So I think there's certain things in the world that you could just do. So there's like inputs and outputs, where you could do X and Y is expected, right? So, well, I think it's more like you could do a not that much of a good job on X. So it could be like, I think it's, how should I put it? Do you know, guys? Do you guys know like the Gauss function? Gauss function. So it's more like people think what input should they put in. So they try to upgrade the input of what they have. But mostly it's not the input, but what you actually do. So, if I could talk about an artist, it's really important to have really good quality music, right? But at the same time, what's as important as having really good music is how many music you have. And I think those two are very different variables that affect the outcome in quite the same way. So, have you done it or not is one question. How good have you done it is another question. All right? And I think, especially smart people, they sort of more focus on how good, right? And if you try to make something perfect, nothing's perfect. It can't be perfect. And if you focus too much on being perfect, it's a lot of the cases not going to be published. Yeah. So I try to avoid that, but at the same time, you got to get things really good. So I'm gonna do that as well. Yeah. And it's already 23 minutes, guys. And if you feel free to just exit whenever you want. If you're still watching, thank you so much. There's, I think, around 50 people who watch until the end, which is amazing. 50 people. Thank you, guys. Because a lot of my videos usually plateau around 300 or 200 views. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy. I'm super glad I'm having that people. 200 people, Yeah, I think it's around 200. Yeah, 200, 300, around that. And by the end of the video, there's around, let me see, engagement. Yeah, by the end of the video, there's around 50 people who watch. And if you're the 50, thank you so much. If you're not, you know what? If my whole video is boring, guys, don't waste your time. Just do whatever you want. Yeah. I mean, your time is precious. If my thing is boring, go watch something else. Go watch something educational. Go watch something entertaining. Do what you gotta do. I've shared this thing a lot before, but there was a teacher back in high school saying that I should focus on his class, because if I don't, it means it's rude. And I was like, well, yeah, I could sure attend your classes, it's fine. But um, I think isn't it the right mind to think that my content or the quality of my speech is not good if someone else is not watching, right? And do you really want me to watch your class or video because I'm being polite? I think that's more disrespectful, isn't it? Well, like imagine if someone comes up and says, well, yeah, I'm watching your videos, but that's just because I'm polite. I mean, that sounds worse for me, isn't it? Yeah, so if you don't enjoy it, unsubscribe maybe. There's like there's some people who unsubscribe. It's all right, that happens. Yeah. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down, and it's gonna plateau and get exactly what it should get. But I'm super happy with having 5,000 people. I'm super happy with that. So no wonders for me. Yeah, that's all for the video. I'm gonna shoot a new video talking about writing on how I write my name. And from today on, if you leave a comment on that video, I'm gonna write your name in Korean. Because the whole reason I'm doing this is I had a American friend when I was back in 5th grade, and he would write his name in Korean in a very funny way. So yeah, to prevent that from happening, I'm gonna have that. You know what? Talking about names, I have a Korean friend named Young Ho. So his name is Young in Young, Yo, Young, and Ho. But if you put it in English, it's Young Ho. And when I first told him what that means in English, he had a twin brother, and he was like, "What? Yeah. So, congrats for Young Ho. Young Ho is in the military. Hope he gets out safe. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. See ya.